Hey, what's up, contact staffers, and welcome to episode number 4 of Basic Flow with the contact staff. In this episode, we are going to learn one of my personal favorites, the fishtail. So, the fishtail is a beautiful move in itself, but it's also super important for you to start learning how to control the staff around your wrist. So this is going to allow you to transition from tricks without going through a grab or a hold, and it's really going to open up your repertoire in the future. All right, let's get started. So before we get into the fishtail, I just want to show you one trick which will help you gain control of this area, the back of the hand. It's called a wrist wrap. You start like this with the center point about 3 fingers away from the side of your hand, and you're just going to roll the staff over. It's going to pass through this point, the back of your hand, and then you catch it again on the other side. Same thing from this end. You're here, and then you're going to throw the staff over and catch it here. And just do that a few times. And on both hands. This is going to come in handy later on. Right, so when I started practicing the fishtail, I remember it was a little bit difficult for me to understand exactly what the movement was. I couldn't really picture it in my mind, so I'm going to do my best to explain it to you now today. So basically, what you're doing with the fishtail, just going to show it one more time here. If I were to do this movement while holding the staff, it would look like this. So essentially what's going on is that this end of the staff is tracing a circle in front of my body, and that end of the staff is tracing a circle behind my body. Both circles are going in this direction, yeah? So not in the opposite direction, not like this. This would be a forward fishtail, which is a lot more difficult. So keep them turning. If you're facing forward, it would be anti-clockwise for this one. Okay, I'm just going to show you from the side how that is. Like this. And so you see, I'm moving my hand also on this horizontal line. This is because if I don't, I have to stay like this, which is possible when you're holding the staff. But if you're not holding the staff, as it is with the fishtail, you will not get enough momentum from this circular movement if your hand stays fixed in one place. So I'm just going to show you how it is from here. So you see, with the fishtail, the hand is doing quite a bit of movement from left to right. On the side of my body, it's going from here to here. In addition, it's also going up and down. Up and down, and then back up. There's a cross point here somewhere in the middle, and as it comes in the front of my body, my hand is coming slightly forward, and backwards it's coming slightly closer to my body as well. So you can also visualize this by picturing a figure of 8, but it's slightly bent towards you, so that the circles of the 8 are in front of you here and back of you here, and the cross point is to the side. Does that make sense? Great. So, just going to show you one more time, and I really want you to try to visualize the 8. And you see, this end of the staff is actually coming slightly behind me. If I keep my body square, it's coming slightly behind me and then coming slightly back up. And then this one is coming slightly forward and back up. You can also just do it like this. But the cross point should stay more or less the same. And very important, it's always just one circle in front. So you can also picture doing 2 circles, but they're kind of slanted like this. So one circle is going this way, and one circle is going that way. Okay, I hope that's clear. Now, the way I learned this trick, very simple. I put my hand like this, the staff, the center point is resting on top of my wrist like so, and then you flex the hand as much as possible. Flexing the hand is what's going to allow the staff to stay where it is. If you're limp like this, it's just going to roll off. So once you're here, you're going to place your other hand on top of it, and you're just going to draw that same motion, that same pattern, but with one hand to keep it nice and steady. Yeah? So I'm just going to show you from the side. Hand on top. And then I draw this bent figure of 8. It's exactly the same as when we were holding it. I'm just doing the exact same motion. And as you're doing this, once you feel that it's fluid, you can start putting less pressure on the staff. And then slowly, you can leave your hand there, just being ready to grab it. But you slowly take your hand off. And then, once you got it, you don't need your hand anymore. Okay. Some troubleshooting. So the most difficult part of this trick is probably coming back from behind here, coming back forward. Yeah? So it really helps if you just do, without the staff, just do this movement, just with the hand. Tuck, 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 and keep your wrist flexed. Now, another thing you can do to isolate this transition here from the back to the front is you do one of those little wrist wraps we did at the beginning. Remember they would come in handy? You go from here and back. As you go front. So once again, staff is like so, with the center point a little bit in front of you, like this. You're going to do a wrist wrap. The staff is going to come up here, and then I'm going to bring it in front of you. One more time. Like so. Yes? You can actually do the same thing in the front as well, if this helps you. So you start like this, and you go wrist wrap and behind, and then you can catch. So you can also break the move down like this. Another important thing, the center point is staying fixed on one point on my wrist. It's not moving around, it's not rolling. It's always on the same spot, and it's just the end of the staff that are moving around it. Another thing, don't try to catch the staff with your wrist, with your thumb. You should try to catch it with your wrist. The momentum of this trick comes mostly from these circles you're building. You don't need so much wrist action. It's mostly centrifugal force from the circles you're doing. So that's basically the fishtail. I'm just going to show you some little variations that you can do from there. I'm going to be making a video about it very soon. But basically, once you know the fishtail, you can transition from here to a whole lot of different tricks. You can go, like I just did, into a sort of halo. You can do sort of propellers like this, and then always come back to your fishtails. There's basically a whole lot of stuff you can do with the fishtail. It's a great transition move. It's a great move in and of itself. I hope you had fun learning this, and don't worry, it takes time to learn. Have fun, and I'll see you around, and subscribe and like. See you around.